Hello everyone, it's Omae and welcome back to the brand new video. Today we're going to go through the medal lineup for July as well as August and take a look at the characters that you should be buying and characters you should be staying away from. So off the bat, I'm just going to tell you guys this Franky as well as this Whitebeard versus Blackbeard are the only two characters that I would buy in terms of the legends. I'll explain why in a moment. Continue watching if you want to find out. There's also some treasure map rare recruits available here that have some incredible support abilities, and I'll explain why you'd use certain rare recruits here and which ones are the best to buy. And then we also have all these generic characters that are here every single medal exchange, so I won't be going through every single character here, only the ones that are specially for this month of July and August, right? And I'll emphasize this, but do not buy these free-to-play legends, the VV and the Ace. They are not worth 1,000 medals. If you were to buy one of them and you have like thousands of medals, Ace is the way better one. Definitely never buy VV. Honestly, just stay away from these characters. So in terms of the 600 medal characters, these are more recent legends, although I wouldn't say GOP is very recent. Either way, I would say the only one here that's worth it is Franky. The Bonnie is not a horrible legend, but she isn't worth 600 medals. As for GOP, definitely do not buy him. He's pretty bad in regular PvE content. He is still a decent DPS in Pirate Rumble. He does have the on death special in his passive, which is always going to be valuable, but the side team right now is just not that powerful, and even on the most ideal side team right now, he's not really there. So you don't need this character right now, especially since the side team is just not in action right now. As for Bonnie, I have used her in Assault Rumble before. She does fit on some interesting striker teams in Pirate Rumble, but she's not a great character and not very commonly used. She does have a really powerful support ability attaching to Kuma, which will reduce enemy threshold by 3 turns upon special activation. So easy requirement, powerful effect. Also a chain additive boost of 0.7, which is extremely powerful for support, and you can attach her to the New Year's into Memories Kuma. So a great support ability. Her captain ability is also pretty decent. It can get around both special rewind and burn, including instant burn. She is a striker character, so she's going to go really well with most of the Albaf characters that have been coming out and probably will come out in the future. Striker is a up and coming very powerful class in Treasure Cruise, so the fact that she works with strikers has to be considered. Unfortunately, I do think her special is quite underwhelming, but generally she has a pretty good captain ability, has some niche usage in Assault Rumble, and is just not a bad unit for the future of Treasure Cruise to have on your account, but not worth 600 medals. But then we have Big Boy Franky, not really used in PvP, but when it comes to PvE, he is a monster. He's also still really powerful for the strength super boss, which we should be seeing towards the end of August. We should be seeing a super boss around the time of the Summer Superfest, and since we haven't seen the strength super boss in quite a while, this Franky will definitely see play. The quick team that's most ideal for super boss is generally using this Franky, the quick gear 5 Luffy, the dual giants Dory and Broggy, and then also characters like Boa and Owl. So this Franky is a great character to have, not just for super boss, but generally he has such a versatile special. He gets around despair, paralysis, damage nullification, gives us a target status going through immunities, 2-turn conditional attack boost. He has the similar effect as the version 1 cross guild quick legend, where he charges his own cooldown, so you can use his special multiple times in the quest. My only gripe with this unit is that he's a powerhouse free spirit character, not a great class combination, but really good in PvE, as I said, and also has a really solid support effect. Just really solid unit overall. He also has blow away immunity, which is great. With all the new giant characters we're getting that have blow away resistance, blow away is a gimmick that is quite common in content nowadays, so having these captains that resist it is super valuable. So both as a captain, as a sub, in super boss, and just in generally regular content PvE, this guy is a beast. I highly recommend you pick him up. He also reduces ship special charge time, one of the only units to reduce it in his special or super class. Really powerful unit. I can't stress that enough. He is worth the medals, right? But when we talk about the 400 medal characters, let me get the beast out of the way. Whitebeard versus Blackbeard, specifically versus Whitebeard. This is a timeless unit, especially now with all the Albaf striker units, blowaway resistance, being a striker character. His captain ability is never gonna be bad. He boosts your Saiyan powerhouse units, gives them cooldown, a decent attack boost, but the big part here is resisting blowaway and despair. Just there's no other unit in the game that has that combination of utility in their captain effect. He also has a monstrous special, giving a full board of tandem orbs through block, giving you a 3-turn chain boundary which will last over multiple stages, and then also a delayed effect activation which will reduce crew HP, meaning you can get around the stun debuff. He also has 1 million damage going through normal attacks only, so for weaker mobs he can actually kill them with his special. He also gives a chain growth rate buff, so he's providing a lot of chain, great matching orbs, and also utility against stun. Since his chain boundary is at least 2 turns, you can also use him on the stage before the enemy gives you a weak chain lock to resist a weak chain lock. So he has inferred utility through both stun negation as well as weak chain locks. So great utility even though it doesn't seem like he has any, and also really powerful damage. And the captain ability, as I said, is timeless. He also has a decent versus effect, giving you color affinity for 3 turns and also damage reduction utility. So overall, definitely pick up this guy. The versus Blackbeard part isn't really that good. However, versus Whitebeard is just that good, where this character is worth it 1,000,000%, right? The other characters here, Komurasaki, I was underrating her quite a bit the last time I talked about her in a video, but I do think she's a decent character overall. She's providing multiple stages of both an attack boost and an orb boost, and then also gives you a chain lock, an orb lock, as well as the chain additive buff if you already have an attack and orb boost. She also gives 3 Wonder orbs if she's in the middle row, gives a bit of healing, which is always helpful nowadays, and her captain ability also reduces despair by 10 turns. Just a solid unit overall, not used in PvP, but PvE wise she's still a solid unit to have. Quick slasher, free spirit. But Big Mom, I can't say the same for her. This unit never sees play. Horrible character overall, I would say. She was great for wave clearing content, but with treasure map gone, even that, she's not really that good anymore. Just a horrible unit, do not pick her up. Sanji and Zoro, on paper a great support ability, but rarely does the enemy actually give you increased damage taken nowadays, so this is almost never procced. It's also a fairly weak effect, and when it comes to his special and captain ability, this unit is buns, bro. Horrible unit. Captain ability does nothing basically. The special has very weird orb manipulation, gives increased damage taken, but it doesn't go through immunities, and also just a really weak color affinity that most rare recruits give a much better effect. Like, just horrible unit. I'm waiting for his 6+. He could turn into a decent character. He does have wave clearing capabilities while giving cooldowns, so that's pretty cool. If they make his increased damage taken go through immunities and improve the orb manip, I can definitely see this character becoming much better. Because of the fact that his increased damage taken and color affinity is over 2 turns, it means that you can use them for 2-turn bursts in Super Boss, which could be cool. Or whenever the enemy is reviving, you'll have that increased damage taken for the revive turn as well. But overall, right now, this unit is definitely not worth it, and I don't see him getting a super evolution anytime soon. Quick lore, this guy was prime back in the day, but he's pretty bad nowadays. He still is reducing paralysis in the captain and gives the enemy defense down with his captain ability here. but no cooldown. Also is only boosting cerebral and free spirit. The defense down doesn't go through immunities. His special isn't really doing much at all, which is a big problem. Yes, he does have overheal. This is great healing, but yeah, his special just doesn't do enough. Horrible in PvP as well. Really not a good pickup nowadays. Reiju, I think this character is going to become insane after the super evolution, but for now, very similar situation. She's just not doing enough. She does reduce paralysis as a captain. She activates her special automatically, but yeah, she's just not doing much at all in her special. Horrible unit right now, can't lie. Still a pretty decent support effect for cerebral characters, giving them an attack boost, but yeah, just not worth buying that character just for that support effect. Same goes for Vivi, but she's a bit of a different situation because she's actually necessary for one of the Grand Voyages, Whiskey Peak, right? She's still not a horrible sub. She gives a full water matching orbs through block. She locks those slots, gives a 3-turn orb boost or extends existing orb boost by 2 turns. But yeah, not doing much. Her captain ability is better than Raiju's though, I would say, because special bind reduction is quite rare in the captain abilities. So this is still a usable effect. She's boosting 3 categories of units, but no cooldown, pretty weak here. You can see it's literally 4 lines for the entire captain ability. She's not doing much, right? No beneficial orb enable, no quirky gimmicks or anything like that, but definitely has way more potential than Raiju. Especially when it comes to the super evolution, they can really make this unit overpowered, and as I said, she is required for one of the Grand Voyages, but definitely do not pick her up. You need to have her like 150, so 10 copies of her for that Grand Voyage, and I don't think she's 100% necessary anymore. I do think there are other ways to get around that Grand Voyage using the Stellar Treasure Map Legend Vegapunk, as well as the Strength Kizuna Legend Atlas. If you use them together, it's way easier to clear that Whiskey Peak Grand Voyage, but I will explore that in another video. But for now, don't worry about her. She's not necessary, she's not urgent. You will get her free copies when she eventually super evolves. Same goes for Reiju. And then we have the other group of 400 metal characters that you're allowed to purchase twice. Zoro used to be great for treasure map. Unfortunately, he's kind of fallen off since treasure map mini bosses were removed. Still a great wave clearer, but nowhere near as good as he was before. Not used in PvP either, don't buy. Hancock, horrible unit, don't buy. Blackbeard, he provides himself massive attack and orb boost. Think of him like the Nustro legend V1. Sai Nustro gives himself a massive attack and orb boost, but yeah, he's obviously just way worse. He's basically doing nothing else, both as a sailor and as a captain. Pretty bad. Luffy and Zoro, this unit's a great character template in terms of their design. I think their super evolution will be amazing, but for now they are never, emphasized never used, and when they do super evolve, you'll get their free copies from the Rumble season, so really do not buy them. I really don't understand why these characters are 400 medals. They should be way lower, but ever since level limit break was introduced, they made even old characters cost 400 medals. But for characters like Luffy and Zoro, they don't even have level limit break yet, so I don't understand why they are 400 medals. This unit should definitely be like 200 medals. That's what they're worth, even less probably, right? Sabo V1, with the level limit break, he's not a terrible character, but yeah, let me be real, you're never using him. Let me quickly show you what his abilities are. So when super evolved and level limit broken, he has some pretty interesting effects. So this is the Sabo. His captain ability will allow you to give the enemy burn, which gets around resilience, certain revives. If the enemy revives with only like 5% of their max HP, then burn can usually kill them off if it lasts for this turn here. So it's not a horrible effect, but once again, not going through immunities similar to that Sanji and Zoro. He basically does nothing else. It's definitely not enough to warrant running this character as your captain, and the special, even at stage 2, is pretty bad. gives himself and adjacent characters a matching orb, not even through block, a 2x only attack boost for only free spirits for a turn, and then a 1.5x burn conditional attack boost for 3 turns. I mean, bro, what are we doing? This is worse than modern rare recruits by a long shot. So yeah, definitely do not pick up Sabo. Yeah, he's interesting, but not worth buying at all. Now let's talk about the rare recruits here. So treasure map rare recruit Nami, this is a great ability to get around paralysis orbs, because if the enemy gives you bind and also gives you paralysis orbs, you can use a special to reduce the bind. This will activate and reduce paralysis for the crew. And if you don't know how paralysis orbs work, even if you're reducing paralysis by 1 turn for the crew, it'll change all the paralysis orbs into matchings. So really powerful usability there, and attaches to all choppers, Robins mainly, and Frankies. So yeah, great support ability. Not really good in regular content anymore because of the utility being only 5 turns from the rare recruit, and also pretty bad multipliers on the orb boost. But great support ability, definitely consider her. Robin, I can't say the same. Yes, she is reducing special bind by 3 turns and giving a turn of cooldown on the final stage, but it's only reducing the special bind of the supported unit. So very niche use case here. The only time you'd use a support like this is, for instance, the enemy gives you 10 turns of special bind, and you're using a special to reduce special bind, but that character that you're using to reduce the special bind, they only reduce the special bind by 7 turns on themselves from the Sailor effect. So they themselves are not removing all the special bind on themselves, so it's impossible to use their special to remove the special bind on everyone else. In that case, you'd use a support ability like this to reduce the last bit of special bind on your main utility unit that will remove it on everyone else. So yeah, you can tell from that it's extremely niche. You really do not need this. The main reason would be for the cooldown, but even then it's only to Nami, Chopper, and Franky. It's way more niche compared to the Nami rare recruit. Chopper, great for stun negation. Unfortunately, most of the time these days, the enemy doesn't straight up just give you stun on the final stage. It'll either be for an interrupt, on a revive, or on earlier stages. So most of the time 70% is, on the final stage, activation is just not usable. Also 70% is way too drastic of a HP reduction. Nowadays we have all of these HP reducing debuffs like pain, bleed, instant burns that are quite bad, so you really can't be just straight up removing 70% of your HP. Definitely out of these 3 rare recruits, they all came from the same batch, by the way. Nami's the best one to buy. Choppo, I'd say, is the second best, and then Robin, just don't buy her, man. Tashigi, great for damage reduction utility. Yeah, 2 tons of damage reduction on any strength slasher unit. Great support ability. I've used it multiple times in the past. Similar to Makino for defense up on all of your strength free spirits. Also really worth it. Hina, I haven't used as much, but also not bad. Threshold on your int and striker units. With Albaf being a thing, all the units are mainly striker focused. This Hina will definitely see more play. So all 3 of those characters, I would say, are worth buying. I've used the Makino the most, the Tashigi the second most, and Hina the least, but as I said, Hina will see a lot more play, so don't downplay her. As for Vivi and Perona, these rare recruits are not really that good. The Vivi does provide a free spirit 1.3x color affinity upon the supported character using their special, so I have used it in the past a decent amount. Unfortunately 1.3x is just not strong enough, and the color affinity is only for free spirit units. So I have used her quite a bit in the past, but she's not making much of a difference anyways. Perona, just don't buy her. She doesn't really have a good support effect, and not good in PvE either. Horrible special, right? So that's gonna be about it for July and August metal exchange, bro. Okay, metal exchange. Hope you guys enjoyed the information. If you have something to refute what I've said in the video, let me know in the comments. I'm always open to discussion on whether or not a character is worth it or not. But make sure to like, subscribe if you found the video helpful. I will have other videos up fairly soon, talking about the new ticket update for June to late August, as well as a video talking about the grand party season, the best leaders for the upcoming grand party, as well as co-op duels. We can talk about that, assault rumble, and then also the upcoming PKA is going to be a massive change. So this is not any ordinary PKA. We're going to have a massive update happen during the PKA being out in the game for us to play. So I will talk about that in a separate video. This is going to be a part of the summer update that was promised to us a few months ago. So I'm quite excited that that's going to start rolling out those updates. And then I also have a video talking about the end of month batch Sugofest, which party is the best to pull on, and if these units are worth the gems even in the first place, right? So that's going to be about it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. And I'm out.